Look, there's something we can never forget. We are people. We interact with people. We live surrounded by people. And what we take with us and leave behind in this life is the quality of our relationships. The way we treat others defines who we are. Because, let's see, what's the point of being professionally successful if people around you avoid you, fear you, or simply don't appreciate you because you mistreated them with words, gestures, or indifference? What's the point? None. We live in a society that sometimes focuses on the wrong things. We're bombarded with the idea that we have to succeed, that we have to be successful, that we have to stand out. But they don't tell you the other side, that you can have everything materially and still feel empty or worse, that no one wants to be with you because you've forgotten the essential, being a good person. I say this a lot in talks, and it always brings smiles and reflections. You can have all the degrees in the world hanging on your wall, bachelor's, master's, postgraduate, language courses, whatever. You can have a resume that looks like a scroll, but if you're rude, unfriendly, selfish, arrogant, what good is all that? Because, listen, degrees don't give you value as a person. What gives you value is how you relate to others, how you make others feel, how you live your values in your daily life. And this, mind you, isn't cheap theory. This is lived. We've all had experiences where we've met people with tons of education, tons of experience, but who don't convey anything good, who treat us coldly or with contempt. And, on the other hand, we've met humble, unassuming people who may not even have a diploma, but who fill your soul, who give you peace, who add to your life just by their presence, who seems greater to you. Who do you want to be? I'm absolutely clear about who I want to be. I want to be someone who, when they enter a place, makes people happy. I want to be someone who, when they leave, leaves a beautiful, positive memory. Because that's what remains. People don't remember whether you wore an expensive suit or not, whether you had the latest iPhone or not. They remember if you were kind, if you were attentive, if you were there when they needed you, if you contributed, if you brought joy, if you did your part as a human being. And be careful. Being a good person isn't something you have. It's something you train for every day. It's getting up in the morning and saying, today I'm going to treat people with respect, with kindness. I'm going to listen. I'm going to help if I can. I'm going to smile, even if I have my problems, because others have theirs too. It's an attitude towards life. It's not about being perfect, which doesn't exist, but about being aware that every day we have the opportunity to choose how we treat others. At home, at work, on the street, with friends, with strangers. In all these moments, you can choose to be a good person. You don't have to do great things. Just keep in mind that kindness, empathy, and generosity make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. And by the way, there's something I love and share a lot. When you are a good person, you live better. Because you sleep peacefully. Because you know you did the right thing. Because people want you around, respect you, and truly value you, not for what you have, but for who you are. And that, believe me, is priceless. So I'll say it loud and clear, as I like to say things. Don't waste time chasing things that don't fulfill you. Focus on being a good person, treating others well, and leaving a mark through kindness. That's what matters. That's what sticks. Look, this is key, and I won't tire of saying it. You can be the brightest person in your company, the best at what you do. You can have the highest position, earn a lot of money, have traveled the world, but if you don't treat people well, if you aren't kind, if you don't show respect, all of that is worthless. Zero. Because there is no achievement that justifies rudeness, arrogance, or poor treatment. We live in a society where having is highly valued. Being successful, having degrees, having things, having followers, being famous. And being is less valued. Being kind, being generous, being respectful, being a good person. And that's a huge mistake. Because at the end of the day, what builds strong relationships, what generates trust, what creates healthy environments, what truly fills the soul is respect and kindness. Think about it for a moment. We've all been in situations where someone, with just a kind look, a sincere smile, a gesture of respect, has changed our day, right? And vice versa. We've all experienced moments when someone in power or with an air of superiority has treated us badly, with contempt, with coldness, with arrogance. How do we feel? Small, hurt, angry. We don't forget that. And it shows that kindness and respect have enormous power, much greater than. And mind you, I'm not talking about being friendly all day long or handing out hugs on the street, which is fine if you want to. I'm talking about something deeper, looking people in the eye, truly listening, not interrupting, saying thank you, apologizing when appropriate, treating everyone with the same dignity, whether it's the CEO or the office cleaner. Because it's not about hierarchies, it's about humanity. I really like to give a very simple yet powerful example. Imagine you go to a restaurant and the waiter serves you with a smile, politely wanting you to be well. What happens? You feel comfortable, you appreciate it, you want to come back. That's the magic of kindness. And the same thing happens at home, at work, with friends, with strangers. A kind word, a respectful attitude has a multiplying effect. Now, this can be practiced because we're not always in a good mood. We don't always feel like being kind, but that's the key. It's not about whether you feel like it. It's about choosing to be kind. Being respectful and kind doesn't depend on how you feel. It depends on how you choose to behave. And when you choose that, even if you're having a bad day, you realize that the day improves because your attitude improves the attitude of others. And it's not just that it's nice to be that way. It's that it's intelligent. Do you know why? Because when you treat others well, people respond well to you. It builds trust. It builds affection. It builds mutual respect. And that opens doors, creates opportunities, builds relationships that are worth their weight in gold. On the other hand, when you treat others poorly, when you're rude, harsh, contemptuous, people withdraw, protect themselves, and withdraw. That's why I say it loud and clear, with all the passion in the world. Treat people well, always, with respect, with kindness, even if you don't like them, even if you don't agree, even if you're having a bad day, because respect isn't optional, it's essential. And kindness, besides being free, is a superpower. It makes you great. It makes you loved. It makes you human. Look, this is brutal, and it's not talked about enough. Because many people confuse greatness with power, with money, with success, with fame, and that's a tremendous mistake. True greatness, the kind that leaves a mark, the kind that inspires, the kind that fulfills, is measured by what you give, not by what you have. It's measured by your ability to put yourself in other people's shoes, to help, to share, to care, to accompany. Do you know what empathy means? It's feeling with others, understand their pain, their joy, their struggle, their hope. It's not pitying. No. It's connecting with others from the heart. And that, in a world where haste overwhelms us and everyone is doing their own thing, is a gift, an oasis. Because there are so many people who need to be heard, who need to be understood, who need to feel seen. And you can be that someone who makes a difference just by being there, by looking, by truly listening. And generosity goes hand in hand with this. I'm not just talking about giving material things, which is also possible if you could, of course. I'm talking about giving time, giving attention, giving words of encouragement, giving smiles, giving support, giving affection, giving the best of yourself. Because we can all be generous, no matter if you have a lot or a little. The important thing is the attitude with which you give. Giving from the heart, without expecting anything in return, that's what makes you great. I'll tell you something that has a great impact on me. The people we remember most in our lives aren't those who had the most money or the most titles. They're those people who were there when we needed it, who lent us a hand, who gave us their time, who hugged us without saying anything, who rejoiced in our achievements, who supported us in our failures. That is true greatness. Be that person who adds, who supports, who accompanies. And be careful, this isn't cheesy or weak or silly. It's the most powerful thing there is. Because when you truly give, when you are generous, when you have empathy, you create deep, real bonds that give meaning to life. Because you know, and I do too, that when we do something good for someone, we feel good. It's a different kind of happiness, a joy that fills the soul. And this is very important. Being generous and empathetic sets you free because you stop focusing only on yourself and you begin to see the world from a different perspective. You stop obsessing over what you lack and you realize all you can give. And the more you give, the more you receive not just things, but affection, gratitude, meaning. That's what matters. And another thing, Don't underestimate the power of small gestures. You don't have to do gigantic things. Sometimes a kind word, a phone call, a sincere "how are you" can change someone's day or life. And you can do it. We all can. You just need to want it. You just need to step outside yourself and look at others. That's why I say, if you want to be great, don't look at your bank account. Look at your ability to give. Don't look at your titles. Look at how many people you've helped. Don't look at your social position. Look at how many people you made feel good, how many trust you, how many seek you out because they know you add value. This, when you think about it, changes the way you see life. Because we live in a society that focuses on what we achieve. Titles, awards, likes, followers, merits, recognition. And it's okay to have goals. It's okay to strive. It's okay to want to progress. Of course. But the big problem is when everything revolves around that and we forget about the most important things. People, relationships, what we leave behind in others. Because, look, achievements are fleeting. What seems incredibly important today won't be so tomorrow. How many things that used to keep you up at night don't you even remember today? But how you make others feel, that stays. That lasts. That leaves a mark. I always say, people won't remember how many meetings you held, or how many reports you delivered, or if you had a new car. People will remember how they felt around you. If you were someone who conveyed peace, who inspired joy, who gave confidence, who listened, who embraced the look, that won't be forgotten. And here's the beautiful thing. We can all leave good things for others. You don't need to be famous or a millionaire or an influencer. You need to be a good person, have a good attitude, treat others well, contribute, and be present. Because sometimes just being there with a smile, a word of encouragement, a simple gesture is enough to make someone feel better. And be careful, this is also a choice. Every day, you choose whether you're going to add or subtract in the lives of others. Whether you're going to be one of those who spreads enthusiasm or one of those who walks through life with charred-like face. Because we all know people who light up the room when they arrive and others who do too when they leave, right? Well, you decide which of the two you want to be. I'll tell you what I want to be. A person who leaves a good memory. Someone who says, "Hey, I felt so good with Victor. It was a pleasure talking to him." What a beautiful energy he transmits. And I don't say this out of vanity. I say it because that's the point of it all. To leave a positive mark, to help, to bring joy to a company. Because that fulfills you, makes you feel useful, and connects you with what truly matters. And the best of all is that you can do this every day, in the small, everyday things. At home, at work, on the street, with friends, with strangers. You can be that person who lifts others up, who inspires, who brings joy, who leaves a beautiful mark on the hearts of others. So, when you ask yourself, what do I want to achieve in life? Change the question to, what do I want to leave in others? And there you will have the answer that truly matters. Because in the end, all that remains is the love, the kindness, the joy you gave. Everything else fades away. This is key, fundamental, basic, essential, vital. Look, sometimes in life we forget the essentials because our heads are full of things, worries, goals, lists, tasks. And it's good to have goals, of course, but we can never forget who we are. And the most important thing you can be in life, listen carefully, is a good person. It's not about seeming like one. It's about truly being one. It's about acting well, having values, treating others with respect, being honest, having empathy, helping, and contributing. And this doesn't depend on your studies, your job, or your money. It depends on you, on your will, your attitude, how you choose to act every day. I tell you this from the bottom of my heart. In life, your resume doesn't define you. Your behavior does. You can have 1,000 titles, but if you treat others badly, if you're selfish, if you step on others' toes, that nullifies everything. On the other hand, you may have little, but if you have values, if you're honest, if you give your best, you're gigantic. And this shows. People perceive it, they feel it, because kindness can't be faked. You know when someone is authentic, when they're generous, when they're loyal, and that builds trust, creates bonds, opens doors, makes you unforgettable. Because good people leave a mark. They leave warmth. They leave joy. I see it every day. The people we admire most aren't the most powerful. They're the most human. Those who listen, those who are there, those who help, those who make you feel important, those who contribute. That's being a good person. And you can always be that, in the big and the small. There are no excuses. Being a good person is also courage. Because in a world where everything moves so fast, where me first often prevails, being kind, being honest, being generous is an act of courage. It's saying, I don't care what others do. I'm going to do the right thing because it's what comes from my soul, because it's who I am. And there's something amazing. When you're a good person, your life becomes full of meaning because you do good, because you feel proud of how you act, because you sleep peacefully, because you know that beyond the results, you're sowing good things. And that, my friend, is priceless. So don't hesitate any longer. Your best letter of introduction, your best legacy, the most valuable thing you can be is a good person. The rest is incidental. This is the essential. This is brutal. Look, life isn't always easy. There are good days and bad days, happy moments and difficult moments. We all have problems. We all have worries. We all have challenges. But what makes the difference isn't what happens to you, but how you react to what happens to you. That's attitude. And attitude is your personal seal. It's your brand. It's your light. It's what makes people look at you and say, it's so nice to be with this person. Because there are people who light up with their presence and others who turn off the lights, right? And that has nothing to do with what they have or what they do, but with how they do it, with how they live it. Attitude is the way you choose to live your day-to-day life. You can choose to complain or to be grateful. You can choose to get angry or to breathe and move on. You can choose to be bitter or to put on a brave face and move forward. No one can do it for you. It's your decision. And mind you, I'm not talking about going through life in happy flower mode, as if everything were perfect. No. I'm talking about keeping your head high and your heart strong, even when things aren't going well. About not letting circumstances steal your joy, your desire, your energy. Because that's what having an attitude is. Maintaining your essence, your light, your enthusiasm, even in the storm. And the most beautiful thing about all this, attitude is contagious. Yes, it's contagious. When you go about your life with good energy, with joy, with spirit, with desire, others feel it, you transmit it to them, and that creates a positive environment, a different vibration, a force that pushes you, that lifts you up, because attitude is like a perfume. You notice it, you feel it, it stays. Look, you can't control everything that happens, but you can control how you face it, and that choice changes everything. You decide if you want to be one of those people who adds or subtracts, who encourages or dampens, who pushes or holds us back. And we all prefer to be around someone who lifts us up, inspires us, motivates us. That's why I always say, take care of your attitude like you take care of your health. Laugh, be grateful, help, be kind, be generous, be brave. Because that not only defines you, but it also affects others, leaves a mark on them, changes their day. So now you know, if there's something worth working on every day, if there's something that will open doors for you, that will bring you joy, that will bring you closer to others, that will give you peace, it's your attitude. Put your heart into it. Put your heart into it. Put your energy into it. Listen carefully. I say this from the bottom of my heart. No one is perfect. No one. We all have flaws, bad days, moments when we make mistakes, things to improve. And that's okay. It's human. But the big problem is that many people are obsessed with appearing perfect, with appearing impeccable, with projecting an image that isn't real. And here's the big truth. People don't care if you're perfect. They care that you're real, that you're you with your virtues, your flaws, your story, but that you don't act like. You're not what you are, because authenticity is noticeable. It's felt. It's appreciated. Being with someone authentic gives peace. It gives confidence. Now, being authentic doesn't mean doing whatever you want without thinking about others. Mind you, being authentic also means treating others well, respecting, caring, and contributing. Because authenticity without respect becomes selfishness. The important thing is to be yourself, yes, but without stepping on anyone's toes, without hurting anyone. And here's the most powerful part. When you're authentic, you inspire. Because people see that you don't pretend, that you don't compete, that you don't need to impress. You simply are, you live, you share, and that liberates others, gives them permission to be themselves, without masks, without fear. And the key to all this, do you know what it is? Treat others well. Always. It doesn't matter who you have in front of you. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. It doesn't matter if they have power or not, if they suit you or not. Treating others well doesn't depend on the other person. It depends on you. It's your choice. It's your essence. It's your greatness. Because look, you can't control whether you're remembered for being the best at something, but you can make sure you're remembered for how you treated others. And that's what remains. Not your clothes, not your car, not your success. What remains is your smile, your support, your respect, your love. So stop striving to be perfect. Stop comparing yourself. Stopping demanding the impossible. Be you, but the best version of yourself. With your values, with your joy, with your kindness, with your attitude. That's what transforms lives. That's what gives meaning. We live in a society that always tells you that happiness is in a specific place. In the perfect job, in the ideal partner, in the car of your dreams, in the house with a garden, in the six-figure salary. And the truth is, everyone is looking for happiness as if it were a prize to be won. But let me tell you something, my friend. Happiness isn't in a specific place or time. It's in the journey, in the process, in how you live in the now. Happiness isn't a goal to be achieved. It's not something you find at the end of a race. It's something you can choose every day, with every step. It's how you live each moment, how you feel about what you do, how you relate to others, how you enjoy the little things, the details. When you stop seeing happiness as a destination and start seeing it as a journey, you realize you're already living the life you want, that everything has value, that everything has meaning, that every day is an opportunity to be well, to enjoy, to learn. Because, in the end, happiness isn't having everything you want, but rather enjoying what you have. That's how it is, my friend. Life is short, and sometimes we overcomplicate it, right? We stress about everything. We seek perfection. We forget to enjoy the journey. And the strangest thing is that all of this makes us forget the essential, to live and be happy. Life has its difficult moments, its challenges, its surprises. But in the end, no one has everything under control. No one has a perfect recipe for living without problems. And when you realize this, you start to relax a little more, not take everything so seriously, laugh at yourself more, and enjoy the moment. Laugh more. Relax. Sometimes we worry about things that aren't that important, about things that won't be a problem tomorrow. So if you can laugh, make jokes, have fun, don't let the little things steal your peace. Life is for enjoying, not suffering. So, instead of complicating it, simplify it. Look, this is key. Life has no meaning if we don't share what we have. Everything good you have, everything you know, everything you are, everything you learn, everything you love. Everything has value when you share it, whether with your family, with your friends, with others, with the whole world. Because what isn't shared is lost. You may have a great idea, a great opportunity, a great smile, a great story today. But if you don't share it, it stays with you alone. And eventually it wears thin, stagnates, and fades. But when you share, it's like lighting a light in others, like planting seeds that grow. Because the magic is that when you share something good, it multiplies. And I'm not just talking about material things. Share your time, your support, your knowledge, your love. When you give, you don't lose, you gain. Because what you share comes back to you in incredible ways. Never forget that sharing is one of the most powerful ways to enrich your life and the lives of others.